Hi guys, and welcome back to my channel. Here you see me wiping down some Frisket that I have placed over this picture, and then I'm going to be cutting it out. And you see me showing you there that looks something that looks like a pen, but it isn't. It's I got it over in the aisle at Walmart where they have their Cricut stuff, and it is actually a little pen that has like a little blade on the end of it that is like a little blade that you'd put in your plotter. Starting here with some blue, and it's just a couple drops of cobalt blue with about 25 drops of white, and I'm just going in and spraying some blue in the background. There's going to be some trees coming up here also in the back, and it's going to be kind of a blurry, real blurry background, so I'm just kind of filling it in there. I'm using my Neo airbrush because don't really need a lot of detail right now, so I just kind of use it for spraying in backgrounds and stuff, but you can get a fairly fine line with it. I also want to point out I am not working on my normal aluminum panel this time that I usually use. This is a wood board that I have gessoed, 2 coats of gesso on, and then sanded lightly. And I wanted to try it, first time I've ever tried airbrushing on this type of material. Just want to see if I like it or not. And from what I can tell, it leaves a little bit of a texture to it, which isn't bad because I kind of like a little texture. So we'll see how it goes with everything else with the airbrushing part. And let's see. I'm using pre-text illustration colors, which when I do fine artwork, I like to use the pre-text illustration. When I do anything automotive or that, I like to use Wicked. It's just a preference, it's not needed. It's just something Wicked tends to cure a lot quicker. And once it's cured, it's kind of hard to get off. I mean, you can if you really, really scrub and sand, but it is kind of harder to get off than illustration would be. So that I use more for automotive. But anywho, I'm coming in here now with sepia, just straight sepia. And it's kind of putting off a greenish tint because I didn't have my airbrush completely cleaned out of blue. I just kind of started with it, which is okay because I will be coming over it again and darkening that up, so no worries. Sorry I haven't been on here in a while. Been doing some jobs out of town and then some other issues, so I'm back. Realizing I used the wrong format on this, so we'll fix that in the next video that I have up. It's not giving you a close-up the way it showed on my camera, but it's not showing it here as I'm formatting it. So I apologize for that. We will fix that on the next upload where we begin the actual dog. And this dog that I'm going to be painting is a Springer Spaniel, and I have cut down the ears a little bit on it because my dog is also a Springer, so I wanted this to look more like my dog and not the dog in the photo, which the dog that you're going to see in the photo will be on my community link. If you want to check that out, print it out, go by that if you want to actually paint this. And you will see he has much long, or she, I'm not real sure which one, but much longer ears and a smooth top of his head, where my dog doesn't have a smooth on his head. I always left it fluffy because it kind of gives him a little bit of personality, and I kind of cut it in a way around his head that made it kind of stick up a little bit more, not like a top knot on a poodle, but more like an eraser on a eraser. Yeah, I know you're probably laughing, but that's I kind of like it like that. So it's just his little personality. So I'm gonna be airbrushing this more like my dog. And you'll notice also the color of the eyes are not going to be the same because my dog has more of an amber eye, and this dog's eyes are more kind of a yellow. They have more of a yellowish tone to them, so the color there is going to be different. And the color I'm not airbrushing that in, so mostly everything else is about the same. There's a little bit of different shape in the head, and you'll notice when I'm not doing that, just like the photo, but his head's a little bit more around the eye part. It's a little bit more close to the eye, so you'll see where I'm not following that 100% to the picture. And with anything with your artwork, you don't have to follow it 100% the way the picture is, unless you're really trying for a realism shot where, people are gonna look at it to try to tell the difference between a photo and a painting. But most times when you're doing art, people aren't really going to do that. So, I mean, it's just up to you. I like to paint realism, but not necessarily the exact of a photo. So, change it up a little bit. We can add our own things and take away our own things. So I think here I'm going to be coming back in with some white and putting some strike highlights in between the trees and stuff to make it look like there's sun shining through these trees. And of course, as you get closer to anything, it always gets darker. So down at the bottom, it will look a little darker than up above as we go on. And that gives you the illusion of the blurriness of the background of the photo. Sorry about the cars zooming by. You may be able to pick that up. You might not. I'm not sure. And that's my cat. Yeah. He's a fuzzy little creature. I'm in my house doing the voiceover to this. And he's wanting me to play with him. So here I'm just kind of working over some certain areas, just kind of making sure, so, and I think in the end I even spray over a little bit of the trees in the background with white, just to make it a little bit more blurry-ish. And as we move forward, again, this is just all sepia in here, and then the blue, and then white for the background. No other colors except for that right now. And just spraying in some white here and there. Now going up between the trees. So my cat's name is Cletus Deardor. What a name for a cat, right? Around here we call him Mr. Deerdorf because he thinks he owns the house. Dusting over those trees with some white and kind of making them go back in the background a little bit further. Gonna use my little pin cutter here to cut out the eye. To cut the frisket paper or tape. Cletus. You can hear him purring on. Get down. Spraying in, my dog's eyes are amber, like I said, so I'm just spraying in some burnt sienna. Made it a little too dark, but I will erase that out. And cutting around the other one. Picking it out. I think they make frisket tape too sticky myself, but boom. Sorry about that. I must have left a section out, but anyway, I sprayed in this the burnt sienna and the black of the eyes, and I think I'm just going around it there, making sure I have the black in the right position. And you're seeing some overspray on the tape itself, so those eyes aren't quite that big. But one thing I noticed on the board here is that it was hard to erase on it, and I don't know if it was just because I had sprayed too much paint maybe, or because normally on the aluminum panel it wouldn't have been like this, but I'm noticing I'm having a hard time trying to get this off and to have those really bright highlights. So I kind of worked back and forth between the eraser and the dowel, and the dowel didn't even work. And then I tried a smaller dowel, and it didn't work. So then I'm like, okay, the only other thing I know is to use a blade. So I took that little pin with the cutter on the end, and it worked just fine. So that's good to know. And it was good for cleaning other things up. But it's something I'm not going to want to use all the time if I work on a board, so I have to really kind of choose, I think, my artwork. Or there might be some tricks to it too. I'm not real sure. Like I said, it's the first time I've really painted on these wood panel boards. And just because it's got a backing on it to where you can just hang it on the wall, you don't really have to put it in a frame. It's just like a canvas, but it's made out of wood. And here I'm just taking off that brisket tape, and it is quite sticky, but it came off pretty easy. And I'm gonna put that up. I'm gonna hold on to it because you never know. I might need that for something to make it stand out more. I might want to replace that on and then put something else in the background. So here I'm coming in with the knife, as you see, and I'm scratching out some brighter highlights, and it's working pretty good. So, which I'm glad. Of course, you can't see that well because from this format view, it's back further than what I would like. And we'll fix that with the next one. But I'm just cleaning up around the eyes here and scratching some little tiny highlights, which you can't see either. Sorry about that again. Did it. Think I may slip. But live and learn. Always something new. Thank you for watching, guys, and check back on this. Like I said, I'll get it fixed. Bye-bye. Subscribe.